Welcome back to Craft Stick Crafts. I'm Brad Griffith, the creator of this new art craft. In our last video I forgot to show you, this piece here is a helium balloon basket with a camera on it. And what we've got here is the same thing, but without the electronics. We attached this to a 4-foot helium balloon and sent it above a scouting, big scouting event in Seattle called Wash Jam. You can see that in one of our other videos. This particular project here, we attached a remote control brains to the video basket camera, and then a propeller. And with the remote control from the remote control car that we converted, we can turn the light on and we can make the propeller go forward or back. And we have a tether string on the basket, and that allowed the basket to go up and video around our house and not, fly off into the atmosphere. But they involved a big 4-foot helium balloon and a tank, and we posted the videos on our YouTube channel. Where we left off on one of our last videos, I was going to show you, we cut these holes out here with a Dremel tool. This is one of our trucks, and then we're putting a lumber rack on it. But what I wanted to show you regarding that truck is our assortment of sanding tools that we make. And so we glue sandpaper on a different assortment of wooden sticks to get different sanding effects. Like if you wanted to round something off, this is the inside, the outside of a spoon. And if you wanted to make a cylinder, then we're wrapping sandpaper around the handle. But regarding this truck project, a small popsicle stick with sandpaper can get in those, projects that you wouldn't normally be able to reach. So that's sanding. Obviously a little bit better than that, but that was just a show and tell. These items here, we're not quite sure what this is, but as you can see, this is a coffee stir stick, the type of stick you'd find at like a Starbucks, and we wrapped that around some veneer, and the veneer was wrapped around a pipe and it dried. We'll probably put a bottom and a top on this, some kind of a lid. This was one of our trailers, and we're learning how to do the canopy theme. So once again, these sticks here are like coffee stir sticks that you'd find like at Starbucks. And then the canopy material is just found like at a craft material, Joann Fabrics type store. These projects here, we're not quite convinced what they're going to be, but we're just understanding how to do this craft. Not really just understanding. I've been doing it for 4 years. So these might be some kind of a decoration, Christmas ornament. This is a peel this away. This is a ribbed box that we're working on, and there's a seam here and here. We'll probably put a couple little hinges here, cut the ribs here and here, put some sides on it, and that box will actually open up. There's one of the inside ribs. One of our wheel that we're working on. This is experimental plane, just pretend plane obviously, but what this is going to be, we use plastic when we want to bend something over wood but not get the original wood wet. So that plastic saran wrap protects the original piece from getting wet or getting more glue on it. And this would be the wings. We're probably going to cut this in an interesting shape, add the shaft and the backside. It's just more items that we're showing how to bend around. Some right angle bends. This project here is, you know, like I've said before, not all of this craft projects are for kids. Like I had mentioned before, we use plastic so it doesn't attach itself when we glued this up. There could have been extra glue that glued itself to this piece of wood, and then you'd never get this off. But this is an example of ribbing and skinning. And when this was dried, then we put some plastic over that again and then put another layer of veneer on top, which would allow this to become stronger. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with this. It might become two ends and a bottom to make a box, and I'll cut those things off. So lots of projects going on. Right angle bends. We'll end up over here. This is our tree house, and it will be in our barns, stables, and fencing structures. So, you know, we're not just limiting this new craft to craft sticks. Craft sticks come in all shapes and sizes. These are tree limbs, obviously. We've got some coffee stir sticks, some scrap lumber. This scrap lumber you can pick up at Home Depot, and they've got a little cutting section there on that wood aisle, and often they'll sell it by the foot, or there'll be some scrap lumber that somebody else has already cut in that scrap lumber pile. So this is just a few things we're building. I'll show you this one down the road once I get a little more complete. This one happens to be a bunch of them, tongue depressors bent around a battery, and we're not quite sure what that is going to be, but often we're fanning them out like that, which is not a very good example. But this Pinewood Derby car is a good example of bends upon bends upon bends upon bends. Now this car won't be very aerodynamic based on the air going in here and catching it, but it's just a cool effect. And then we made some buckets. These are popsicle sticks. Basswood is the outside. Little thin veneer or plywood was the base. Once again, we've got some really thin coffee stir sticks wrapping around the bucket, and thin plywood. All this wood mostly I find at the Joann type fabrics or Michaels, especially these plywood type pieces. and or be selling them eventually on my website. Here we go. Whoop. So, having a great deal of fun. I hope you're enjoying our Goodwill videos. This is kind of my way of saying thank you. A lot going on. Keep an eye on us, subscribe, and we'll keep you in the loop.